You're now tuned into Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And welcome back to the show. It's so good to be back. I've been out for about 2 weeks because I was ill. I did a video earlier, ended up having something that you call pericarditis. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the show today. So this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to like and share the video. And also we want you to partake in the show. So we want you to be able to comment on one of the topics that's interesting to you, as you see at the very top what we're talking about. And here's the number. Give us a call at 916-226-9226 because we want you guys to be a part of the show. We're going to be opening up the phone lines later so you guys will be able to chime in on the show. And as always have a great panel of people with me, and I definitely got to share them with you. They hold me down. Help me welcome my husband, Joe Bassett. Hey, babe, how you doing?
Hey, doing great.
Also, my girl, Marie Hutchison. How you doing, girl?
Hello, hi.
Also, my girl, Miss Stasia Miles. You call her Married to the Mob. Hey, girl.
Hello.
And also the socialite of Sacramento. He go by the name of Mr. Kenny Taylor.
Kenny.
How's it going?
Good. How you guys doing today?
Wonderful.
Pretty good.
Glad it's not raining.
That part.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
I'm with y'all, and it's so good to be able to have y'all definitely back on the show. And I'm getting ready to hook up my little dashboard here. And so to be able to have everybody back live on the show, there's been so much that's been happening in the news. It's been trending, and I've been sitting in the bed like, oh man, I really want to talk about that. Dang, can't even talk about that because I had no voice, you guys, coughing and hacking. So if you hear me coughing on the show, don't trip. If I take gotta blow my nose sometime, so if I take a break, don't trip either, all right, y'all? So don't trip. But we definitely want to get this show started. There has been an update with my man, Mr. Jussie Smollett. We all know there's been a whole lot going on with him, so we're just getting ready to kick this show off right now. Now, back on January the 29th, Jussie first told the police that 2 white men had beat him, put a rope around his neck, and also poured bleach on him while shouting racial slurs at him and also homophobic slurs. And also they yelled, "This is MAGA country." Now, although the police was skeptical of his story, they still considered him a victim, which they should throughout the entire investigation. So throughout the entire investigation, they were still calling him a victim. But then police found it difficult because now there are surveillance cameras that was all around the area where Jussie said that he was attacked, but they could not find the attack on surveillance camera. But they did find 2 gentlemen that considered persons of interest on the camera. So they began to follow these individuals. They saw them get into a car. They saw them get into what would be considered an Uber or a Lyft. So through receipts, they were able to find these 2 gentlemen that he said attacked him. They were 2 white men, put a noose around his neck, yelled racial slurs, homophobic slurs, and also yelled, "This is MAGA country." But when the police got to the 2 men that were in question, that were persons of interest, they ended up being 2 black brothers from Nigeria.
Big
No
ones,
no
too.
doubt.
Big guys.
In good shape.
Only thing white about these brothers was their teeth in their eyes. So therefore, number one, what's wrong with this picture? But not only were they 2 black brothers from Nigeria, they were 2 black men that were also extras on Empire. That actually they were also extras on Empire.
Wow. So they were on the show too?
I think I knew that. I don't know if I knew that.
They were extras on Empire, but not only that, these was 2 brothers that was his personal trainers.
Right.
So you didn't recognize now one of these bros when you were being attacked.
Right.
Did they knock your lights out so hard that when you saw white, you saw a flash and you thought they was white? But this is another thing that I thought was really interesting.
She's in a flash.
Now, that I thought was really interesting, everybody. Now, according to what I've been reading online, about 45 minutes after the attack, the police arrived to Jussie's home. But when they arrived to Jussie's home, allegedly, he still had the noose around his neck.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
So it had been around his neck for 45 minutes. But
Yes.
he said, allegedly, that he wanted to preserve the evidence. Now, when something is heinous and as humiliating as this happens to you,
Right.
that happens to you, you're not thinking about preserving evidence for the police.
Right.
No,
Usually you want to take that thing off. If somebody
Right.
even ties your hands up, you want to take the tape off. Or you're
Right.
trying to loose yourself from that thing that you were basically captured from or tied
Right.
down to.
Yeah.
But Jussie, he's smart. He said he want to preserve the evidence, and I'm not sure if he want to take pictures and say cheese with the news. I wasn't sure if it was an Instagram moment, a social media moment of what he was
That's a
trying to
shame.
do with the noose around his neck. Now, they
Yeah.
do tell rape victims, do not take a shower to preserve DNA.
Right.
Right.
But I've never heard anybody keeping nooses around their neck to
Right.
preserve the DNA. So I was really unclear about that. So they did find the two brothers that were in question. And them two brothers, they said they ain't going down for this. So they started singing
Right.
in the key of soprano. Them brothers was all up in the jail talking about
Yeah, they was in it.
they started
In
singing.
it.
So they started saying that Jussie Smollett was in it. It was a hoax. And they started saying that Jussie Smollett paid them $3,500 to do the attack. They also said that Jussie Smollett told them things to purchase, and video did come forward of showing these brothers inside the store purchasing red hats and I guess nooses. I don't know if they was in a local beauty supply store where they got the
Right.
$3 hats on
Wow.
sale.
Wow.
You know,
Right.
2 for $3, $1.50 each. Don't know.
Right.
But this is what these brothers so-called had on. Not ski masks, as Stacia said earlier. They had on red They just had on red hats. Where you
Right.
could see that these brothers is black.
Right.
And they not just black, they dark. They wasn't like light skin like the Bright
Right.
brothers.
Right.
They wasn't like
Right.
Stephen Curry and Clay, where you know what I mean. If
Right.
you at nighttime, they
Right.
so bright you thought they was white.
Nah.
Right.
You know, there used to be a term that we used to say back in the day, light, bright, close to white.
Yeah.
These
Right.
brothers ain't close.
Yeah, yeah.
They ain't. When you look at the scale, they scale say dark.
Super dark.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Right.
So.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's just what it was.
Right.
So here's the question though. So Jussie said that these brothers, he basically paid them for them to be his personal trainer, trying to lose 20 pounds so he can get his fine on for his music video. So the check comes forward, and in the memo of the check, it does say for training and it does say for nutrition. Now, my question to y'all. Was Jussie very smart in calculating to make sure he put that in the memo for just in case he got caught? He can say this is what this is for, or was it that's what it was really for? So let's try to poke holes in his brother's case. Because one of the things is them brothers still black.
Right.
Yes.
Because remember,
Right.
he
Facts.
said he looked
Right.
at them right in their face and they were white, and he called himself the gay Tupac because he fought back. So let's talk about that. So,
Tupac. Because he fought back.
so I want to hear from
like a
y'all.
lyric
Stacia, I
in a-
know you said you had a lot to say.
You told us before the show that we can't cuss. So
Right. So you gotta clean it.
Yeah, clean it up. Clean it up.
right.
It's all good though. It's
I
all
mean,
good.
this story really makes me angry. My whole thing is, why wouldn't he, if you're gonna stage an attack, then why wouldn't you use people that would fit the description
Right.
of the type of attack that you are seeking to stage? So that's my whole thing. As far as the check, I'm just now learning about the whole nutrition thing or whatever. But I don't really think that I would consider it a smart move or a dumb move or whatever, because even outside of that check, there are still so many dumb moves
Right.
that he made,
Right.
such as writing a check for any reason.
Yeah.
For any
Number
reason,
one.
especially if you knew that you were about to go out there and commit a crime. That's my whole thing.
Right. Right.
That's where I'm coming from on that. And then for you to say that, they were Trump supporters and they did this and they did that, they had
Yeah.
the noose, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to put every Trump supporter in a box. You know what I mean? I get the type of person that he was going for, like when he, made the descriptions or whatever. I
make
just
the
don't
point.
really think that anybody is actually sitting at home hating on you that much to wait for you to leave Subway to jump you at 2 a.m. with a noose and bleach or whatever. How bored do you have to be to do
Right.
that? I just really don't think he's that important. He's important because he's a human being, But I don't think he's that important for anybody to sit up here and like stalk out to do a
But
racist
that's the thing,
attack.
though. I believe he wanted to make himself seem like he was that important because they
True.
said the reason why he did it was because he wanted to get a raise.
Right.
And maybe he probably felt from, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
maybe from the network, they probably was like, well, you're not that important
Right.
for us to give you a raise. You're not a Taraji.
Right.
You're not a Terrence. So you know what I
Right.
mean?
You're
You're
not even
just
you're not even close to
Jussie.
that level.
Hold my
Right.
beer.
So
all.
basically, I'm gonna show y'all how important I am
Right.
because they said he tried to send racist letters that didn't work. And so they tried to send them. Okay, so they ain't feeling that. So now I got to do something real drastic. I got to make sure you know what I mean that they say my name. They said my
to
name.
be-
They
yeah.
recognize me from
Yeah,
the show.
From the show.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
see, and now that you say it like that,
Wow.
it makes even more no sense. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this, it's just.
And why would a bunch of racists be watching
and
Empire
why
in
would
the
they
first
be,
place?
Why would they know
Right,
who you are
right.
anyway? Like that's what I'm saying. Of all the black people to chase down,
Okay, but you're in Chicago. Why just him? What makes you so special? Or even like I said, if you could walk down the street here in Sacramento and I'd be like, okay, there's a light-skinned brother with curly hair. You're not that famous. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
You haven't done that many movies. You've been on this show, and you're really only known by this show. But I think he wrote a check because maybe it was a tax write-off. I don't know. That's the only reason why people write.
Right.
That's the only reason why people write checks and stuff. Is like I need a receipt.
Right.
So I guess he
Right.
said, okay, I can have a receipt. I can write this off in my taxes for 2019. I
right?
don't know.
Or maybe he did write the check for nutrition and working out or whatever. Maybe they did do that earlier that day, and then it was later on. That's when we're gonna do the attack.
Right.
Getting into his mind is just confusing because everything he did, it just seems like it's backfiring. This is the
Right.
ultimate backfire. Not only are you trying to increase your importance, but now it's like, he had to go back and apologize to the crew and staff, and he's been written out of his episodes. So whatever little money you thought you should get more, you're not getting that at all. And now you just put yourself as a public disgrace. So I
Right.
think the court of public opinion is against him with everything else he got going on. So
Yeah.
whatever that check says, the people and the testimony and the witnesses and the video and everything else is saying something entirely different.
different.
Right.
Well, they did say that Terrence Howard is standing by him. Terrence Howard
Yeah,
is supporting
I
him.
saw that.
So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he probably just says that he is innocent until, as we say, until proven guilty. And
Right.
That's
a fact.
true.
That
That's
is
true.
Right.
That is
And-
true.
And
That is true.
not saying that he is, guilty, but I'm saying that the opinion and how things look and the optics of it
He
all
looking real guilty.
don't look right.
Yeah.
It ain't
yeah.
right. It ain't
Real
right.
Don't look
guilty
right.
is.
Yeah.
That peripheral
Guilty-ish.
vision, but that peripheral vision picking up on some things.
right.
I like
My
that.
corner eye see something strange
Right.
happening.
I like
So
that.
if you want to chime in, give us a call, 916-226-9226. If you want to weigh in on the Jussie Smollett situation. Now, he said he wrote the check for $3,500 so he can get himself fit and fine to lose 20 pounds for his music video. Or do you think he wrote in the memo basically to try to cover his tracks for just in case if he got caught? Because he did pick two perfect brothers. Them brothers are fit. Now, if I was looking for some weight trainers, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
probably, I go for these brothers too. The
But
brothers.
you know what?
But to be attackers and you dark.
Dark.
Dark, like all they probably saw in the
Right.
snow because we're in
Right.
Chicago. It's snowing. That's the only thing that you saw that was white
Was
was,
these
the
dark
snow.
figures.
And a
Right.
red hat on a dark skinned brother is come on
It's
now.
still dark.
It's dark.
Right. And they said that Jussie tried to do it right up under one of the video cameras because he even said it was caught on surveillance, but didn't realize that inside the bulb, the camera was facing another direction. So it did not. So they say he even, stuck out the place, saw the camera, and was like, we're going to do it right here, and thought the whole thing was caught on tape, and nothing was caught on tape.
And thinking
Oh,
too,
my God.
Jesse, given his, I don't know, physical build, ain't no way he trying to be gay Tupac and beat these dudes up as big as they are.
Right.
I mean, if they really wanted to do him some harm, they could have really did him some harm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he trying to make it seem like he was so heroic in trying to fight these guys off. I'm not buying
Because he weighed
it.
what, about
I'm
165?
not buying it.
But my point is, why did you have to put sexuality into it?
Yeah.
Right.
Why
That-
you
that
just
too.
couldn't?
Right,
Why
just-
you just couldn't be Tupac? Why
Yeah.
did you have to be the gay Tupac?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
To keep himself relevant because of the show that he wrote, he plays on the show.
Right.
I know he probably lost his mind when his plan was going down the road and went left. I know he probably was like,
left.
"Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Right.
I
Yeah.
can't.
This is not what
I
I
didn't
want.
see that coming."
I didn't want
Right.
checks cut.
Right.
I wanted them added.
It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
He was looking for an increase instead of a decrease.
It's going the wrong direction, literally.
Well, he gonna get a check with zeros on it now.
They
Absolutely.
needed to sit
That's
down and
what's gonna
practice
happen.
that at home.
Not-
They didn't practice enough. They
No.
didn't. They didn't think that through. Was it last minute, Jesse? What
It
happened?
wasn't they, it was Jussie. They said it was all his bright idea.
Right.
Now, they were talking about Jussie's legal defense team
Allegedly.
has to do 3 things to save him from conviction. 1, discredit the main witnesses against him, and then rebut the police theory that he staged a hoax to get a raise, and then also explain the $3,500 check. Now, the memo may explain because his attorney has to be able to cast doubt.
Right.
Now, the memo may cast doubt if he is to go to, if this does go to trial, they may can cast doubt by saying that he did write this check because he wrote it in the memo for nutrition and for weight training. So he could say that that's what it was for because it was known that he was going to be
Right.
working out and being trained,
Right.
and he was trying to lose weight for a music video.
Okay.
So therefore, but how do you explain that you looked right at these 2 black brothers and said that they were white? What was going on? You was going to get something to eat. You said 2:00, and he would not give them his phone because he said that he was on the phone with his manager. I think he said he was on the phone, if I'm not mistaken, with Frank Gaskins. So they wanted to look at his phone to see who
that's
he
right.
was
Who he
on
was
the
talking to,
phone.
right, right. And he
Who-
said
but
no.
he would not because he
Right.
said that he had photos. I was on his phone, and I said, well, maybe sometime in this new age, people taking all these little pictures and stuff. They shouldn't be having on their phone. So I was like, maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why. But you could still go and pull the phone record to see
Right,
who he
to
was
see who
talking.
he was talking
You
to.
didn't they didn't have to look at the pictures. You could say you can go and pull my phone record,
Right.
or he
Right.
could have pulled his phone record.
Yeah. Right. They could subpoena that easily. But my thing is this: you're walking at night and you went to go get a sandwich.
But the thing is,
And
they
then, you,
did
and, you,
subpoena
and
it.
then you did keep the sandwich. They didn't take your sandwich. They beat you up. They didn't take your Subway.
Well, what happened to
As
the
big as they
sandwich?
was, they ain't hungry.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have took a
and the
sandwich.
soda, 'cause I know
If
you
I'm
got
gonna
a
beat you
meal.
up, I'm gonna take your sandwich.
I
I'm
know
gonna take
you
your
got a
soda.
meal. Where
But
the
the
soda at?
question is, was
mean,
there
really.
video cameras in Subway? Because I'm sure the
my
police
goodness.
probably did a very thorough job because
Yeah.
he is a celebrity, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
happened in Chicago,
Right,
and
right.
Chicago is forever getting a bad rap. We know
Right.
they have a very high murder rate, and so they're really,
Yeah.
especially Mayor Emanuel Rahm, he is really trying to, protect the image of Chicago and not
Right.
try to
Right.
bring any more bad light to Chicago. So I'm
Right.
sure they did a very thorough job. And the only video that I believe they did find was the 2 gentlemen walking and them buying the stuff that they said that Jussie told them to buy.
Right. Yeah, it's a sad situation though. Like you said, I mean, maybe you need to get a better agent that can get you a better deal.
Well, see, he should have got one of them writers from Empire to kind
Yeah,
of put
somebody.
this thing
They pretty
together,
good. They
and maybe
pretty
they would have filled some details that he missed because
Right.
he's obviously not a writer. He missed a
true.
lot of details.
But you know what I think?
don't they sit at the table and do a pre-reading?
over, yeah, yeah.
Go over.
They
Okay,
should've
you
said,
supposed to
wait
be.
a minute.
Do
Yeah.
I need to put tape down on the ground because this
Right.
is your mark that
It's
you
your
need
mark,
here?
exactly.
Okay, I need to
Stand
stand
in-
right
stand
here
outside
so
the
that
light.
the camera is right on you. And I want. Okay, is your left side the good side or the right side the good
But you
side?
know-
I just want to make sure you look good on
Man,
film with a
that's
red
what I'm
hat.
saying. That's all I'm saying.
'Cause
You
it's
know
nighttime
what's
and you're
even
gonna be
more
missing.
Interesting that you got that one of the statements you made that's on the table is, did you do this to get a raise? That is suspicious that would
Right.
even be on the table to know that would be something that he would possibly be doing.
Yeah, who put that? Who put that out there?
Yeah, who put
said
that out there?
Right.
That he's like, did he do this to get a raise on the show? Why would that even be on the table in this form of kind of attack?
Well,
Interesting.
well,
You know what
honestly,
I'm
you know, it's
saying?
funny though. He
It's
should have talked to
kinda-
Terrence because Terrence tried that in the Captain America movie.
You know
With
what?
Iron Man. On
Is
Iron
that-
Man, remember
wanted
when he
more
was the
money?
first
Where he
one?
got it
He
from?
wanted
But-
more money.
More money.
To do the second one, and that's when they got Don Cheadle to
That's
play
right.
the role.
That's it.
That is
Because
right.
he
that's
wanted more money. He
right.
thought he deserved more money because the
That's
first
right.
movie blew up. And Hollywood did this. We're going to make this officer go from light to dark.
You know
I'm
what?
just saying.
With a pen.
But you
just
know what?
saying.
That is so true. And
That's
so when
it.
you have
The
wise
tip of
people
a pen.
around you,
Yep.
so he didn't seek wise counsel.
No,
he did
Oh,
not.
Terrence
no.
would have told
Not
him,
at all.
Negro, don't do that.
Yeah, Terrence
that
said,
don't
"Hey,
work.
bruh,
He didn't share what he
Hey,
was
brother,
trying to do.
Right.
Do you see how many movies they done did? I could have been in Avengers.
Yeah.
I could have been in
All that.
Black Panther. I could have, and
All
I
that.
didn't get none of those movies. And Don Cheadle's like, I'll put on that iron suit and fly
I sure
around.
will.
with this
I
That's
sure
right.
will. All
That
day.
right there is so true. So my question to you guys: do you guys think the memo may have saved Jussie to cast reasonable doubt?
No.
Well, I want to know who's going to play his role on Empire. Because I'm telling you right now, the executives are going to be like, no, we're
They're
not
probably
going
going
to
to say that he went back to Europe because
Yeah.
remember in Empire he was in Europe. He still had an apartment
Didn't
in
he have a
Europe,
little
and he brought one of the
boyfriend
singers
that
over.
Yeah,
came?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he can be on trip. He on hiatus.
Yeah.
There's a small mock petition going on right now, and people are wanting "I am delivered" to replace. I am delivered.
You know what?
Stop it.
They want-
I don't
it.
like men anymore.
Stop it.
Hey, well, like you said, I just want to know who they're gonna get to play his role. Or like I said, he
Yeah,
going on a
you?
permanent. He gonna go on a permanent vacation in the Swiss
know
Alps,
what?
and there's gonna be an avalanche.
they
and
got
He gonna die in the
he gonna be
avalanche,
gone.
right?
He
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
gone.
They got holograms now. They can just do a little something.
Yeah, they
put
got
them
to
in
do.
there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
Get
do
out of there.
something.
Okay, guys, here's a question. Now, do you think this person may end up being the Teflon Don? Do you think that this one will stick? We're talking about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is back in the news. He was actually indicted on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse and was arrested and formally indicted. A video surfaced of him engaging in sex with a girl who not only appeared to be 14 years of age, because remember back in 2008, he was able to get off because the girl appeared to be 14 years of age, but her mother or father, no one came forward besides her aunt. But this girl appears to be 14 years of age. And also he refers to her age during the sexual encounter. And then a second tape emerges. They also said there's a third tape. Now his bail was set at $1 million and he could not post bail, so he had to spend a weekend in jail. But one woman came to his rescue.
Oh, yeah.
And she posted the 10%, the $100,000. And she described herself as a friend. Would he find these women?
right.
And, this is a real grown. She's 47 years old. She my age. Now, upon Kelly's release, this is a thing that have people talking. He went to the local McDonald's to get a bite to eat. And it is said that this is the McDonald's that he would go to, allegedly, said that this is the McDonald's that he would go and meet underage girls.
Oh, that's
Straight to
true.
McDonald's.
And one young woman, she came forward that he ended up paying her a couple years ago. She said she met R. Kelly at a local McDonald's. Not sure if this is the McDonald's, but she
Wow.
met him at a local McDonald's on her prom night. And then she began a sexual relationship with him when she was in high school. Now, my question to you all. Do you feel that R. Kelly went to the local McDonald's where allegedly he would go and meet underage girls as a slap in the face to let everybody know that basically you can't get me, catch me if you can, and these charges won't stick and he ain't changing? Because I find that pretty interesting. So do you think that he was slapping everyone in the face by trying to make an unspoken statement by saying, I'm not going down, you can't keep me? What do you think? And you can't stop me.
I think it is. I think he's thumbing his nose at the whole justice system because to this point, look at his track record. He has been Teflon to this point. And so until he gets indicted and he gets convicted, until he's behind bars, I think that's when he'll come to revelation like, man, they got me. But at this point, he feels like he got enough support out there with still fans. He still got a little money. He got whatever to keep him going. And so, yeah, I think he's just thumbing his nose at everybody.
Or he's a predator. That's
He's
what
that
we're-
too.
That's what we're calling him, a predator, right? So it could be that, or it could be him doing something because he's stressed out right now. He's feeding his disease. So he going to McDonald's to get off on it. He's a predator. So we can't think of that as normal. Logical. Oh, I'm going to McDonald's to show y'all this. No, he's going to McDonald's
Of all places,
to feed
because
because
he
he's a
could've-
predator
yeah.
because he's doing what he does best.
Well, it's been, how many years has it been? 30?
Yeah.
It's been 30 years that
Yeah.
this situation has been going on, that America has seen this. People have seen what he's done, what's been going on. And every single time we turn away. We don't pay attention to it. We
He's
don't
the
do
Pied
anything
Piper,
about it.
true to the word. It's crazy.
And the thing that's
It is.
crazy to me about the situation with all these young ladies, where is your parents? Where are your parents at? Because
But parents can be there too, because we know you have a lot of rebellious teenagers. But I'm gonna get back to that. But I want to say something that you said, Marie, the Pied Piper, and I do believe he is very calculating in everything that he does, like calling himself the Pied Piper. And I didn't even know what that meant because I didn't even know the children's story. So it's like he's telling you who he is and what he does, by calling himself the Pied Piper. But for a lot of us, we were still dancing and singing to his music, and all of this stuff was going on under our noses, and he's telling us who he is.
But he was telling us
and
their
there's
music.
the whole saying, when somebody show you who they are, believe them.
Right.
But were we really believing them? We were still buying the songs. We were
Right.
still
We were
singing.
still rolling, dancing to
hit after
ignition.
hit
You know what I'm saying?
After hit after hit after hit during that whole situation.
Right.
And have you guys seen the video where he said it's too late? He said his music has already been injected into the world. His music has already been injected into our veins. And you have some people. I had someone literally tell me recently they're not going to stop, females, that they're not going to stop playing his music because his music is good regardless of what's going on with him.
Right.
That whatever that thing is that he has, and he still got young girls at his house, and people are still playing his music. Women are still bailing him out of jail. Whatever that thing is that he has, I don't know what that thing is because he don't have it over me, but it's really unfortunate. And so when we talk about the Teflon Don, will this thing be able to stick? Will they be able to throw that spaghetti noodle at the wall, and will it be able to stay there?
I'm hoping so. I mean, this has been going on since I was a child,
Right.
And I'm kind of at the point to where I'm like, are y'all still acting surprised?
They're like,
or
what are we doing now?
you know what I mean? So I just kind of like in this whole situation. If you're gonna listen to his music, listen to your music. That's your business. But don't, make a, I'm never doing this again. And then when he comes out with an album,
You own it.
or when he goes to jail, you still have people going out to bail him out of situations and do whatever.
We have a call on the line. Thank you for calling Hot Topics. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Charmaine, how you doing? This is Sal from Richmond.
Hey, Sal, how you
Hi,
doing?
Sal.
Oh, I'm blessed. How y'all doing today?
Good,
Good.
thank you. You have a comment about the R. Kelly situation?
Yeah, I see. I mean, I hear, what everybody is saying, and I agree. I agree. R. Kelly is a pedophile, but like y'all said, he been doing this from the beginning. I mean, it ain't like it's nothing new,
Right.
And everybody is, all it is back in the forefront, because think about it, when he went to court and he paid the people off or whatever he done, see, you got to look at the spiritual part of it. R. Kelly is being possessed by them spirits, right? And if you look at it, he been okayed, as we say, through gospel people, through church people. I mean, think about all the songs he done wrote for gospel artists. For I mean, so he been like, I guess, like what word am I trying to? I mean, he been cleared, basically. So he feels that what he does is okay because the people from the church embrace him, because here they are, they singing his music that he writes for them. Right. He's doing collaborations with people in the church, right? So he feels that he has somewhat of a clean slate. See, he's addicted to these young women, and then to go even further, if you look at what he's doing nothing different than what a pimp does, right? Thanks. What a pimp does is manipulate the mind. Once he manipulates the mind, everything else follows. Right. So he's doing nothing different than what an actual pimp does. That's how he get his stable going, and that's what R. Kelly is doing. If you look at the documentary that they did, Surviving R. Kelly, he's not forcing them girls to stay there. They stay in there because they want to stay there because of how he manipulates them. When you look and you really look into that documentary and you see it for what it is, I mean, not just looking at the surface of it, but look at deep inside of it. Is a control issue that he has. And what does a pimp do? He controls. That's what he does. He treats them like they're his property. That's nothing That's nothing different than what a pimp does.
Right.
That's nothing different than what a pimp does. So So I'm not saying what he's doing is right. I mean, R. Kelly. I mean, he needs to be held accountable for all the things he does. And even if he's not held accountable here, we know he's going to be held accountable when it's time for Judgment Day. So hey, it's a great topic. I love what you're talking about. I love what all y'all is talking about. But again, it's deeper. R. Kelly need deep prayers.
Amen.
But again, he has to learn to repent. He has to learn to repent from it, because again, I can understand, if he was like 20, 21, he was messing with a girl that was, 17. I can somewhat understand that. You know what I'm saying? But here you are. You're a grown man, and you still messing with these little young women.
True.
That again, that's what a pedophile does. That's what he does. He's actually a pedophile.
Yeah.
Well, Sal, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. You always add great insight. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the show. Appreciate you.
All right, sister. I'm gonna stay supporting you. I see your husband. Hey, man, y'all be good. Hey, I love what y'all doing. Y'all stay doing what y'all doing. All right.
Thank
Talk
you.
to y'all later.
Bye-bye.
All right.
You brought up a good point and stuff, though. If you really look at the studying of a narcissistic person, they're very calculated and they are very, very smart.
Yes.
Their IQ, if you look back in the history of all the people, I mean, you go back as far as Charlie Manson. That man was off the Richter scale is crazy. But real talk, if you really look at it and the things that he did, he's very smart.
Absolutely. Hi, you're live with our topics and Lady Charmaine. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Santos Howard.
Hey, how you doing, Santos?
I'm doing good, Charmaine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for calling in. What's your comment?
You know what? I wanna hold on a second. I'm listening to it on my iPad. Hold on. This is the thing with this whole R. Kelly narrative. I don't know if y'all know what Kevin Spacey just said a couple days ago. Kevin Spacey said, "If I go down, I'm bringing the whole Hollywood down.
Ooh,
Hollywood is going to be exposed if I go down for my behavior." So I'm saying that to say this. I just posted a article that Mirjay, I can't think of her last name, she did on TEDx Talks, and she said she's talked about normalizing pedophilia.
Yeah.
And pedophilia is a normal sexual reaction, or just like heterosexuality. So what we're dealing with here, y'all, we're dealing with an industry that is normalizing or trying to normalize this behavior of sex with kids. R. Kelly is just the black man fall guy for an industry that is ravening mad with this demonic influence of wanting to lay with kids. Homosexuality, the legalization of gay marriage, it was an aperture to open the door for a much more sinister position in this world and in this system. So although this brother is way out of line and he's been doing this for a lot of years, don't be surprised if this man don't go to jail.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Wow.
Don't be surprised if this man don't go to jail, because there's a machine behind him.
That's right.
That is big. That is very big. Everybody think R. Kelly is broke. R. Kelly is not broke. Sony,
Not even close.
Sony paid R. Kelly somewhere in the range of $100 million when they released him off the label. This man is in no way broke. This man is going to put up a formidable defense against these charges. And turns out some of that stuff they saying about these videotapes is nothing but the old videotape. Somebody supposedly been tampering with it and all kind of stuff. So don't be surprised if this brother don't go to jail for what he's been doing. We know that he's doing it. We've seen him do it. And it was on videotape, y'all.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Right.
was on videotape, and they still let that man go.
Yeah.
He was on videotape having sex with a 14-year-old girl,
Yeah.
and he's not in jail today. He should be just now getting out of jail.
Facts.
Right.
If
Super
out at all.
facts.
Right.
Good point.
Well, even the
And
fact.
now they talking about just now sending him to jail.
Right.
He should be just now getting out of jail because they had him on videotape. So my point is it's a machine behind him, and it's a machine behind the normalization of rape on kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Santos, I want to say thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for your comments. Very good. Thank you.
And he's had a good point on that.
But y'all have a good one.
You
All
too.
right.
That was very good.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth because I had to pull an article a year ago about people who practice this practice trying to get it added to the LBGT community.
Yep.
They
I read
want to
that.
actually tag on to them because that TED talk, I saw what he was talking about. We're trying to normalize it. So
Right.
this has been coming down the pike, just like he said, for a minute. So
Right.
it's setting up a premise for it to be okay.
Right, but that's not
And
normal.
accept
Like
it.
that's
Crazy.
not
Well,
okay behavior.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's
But-
not, and it shouldn't be tagged on to a sexual. Like the LGBTQ community is not affiliated with
that.
having sexual intercourse with children
Sure.
in any shape or form. So why would you even
And
want
the
to?
LBGT community doesn't want them.
And they don't want them.
want
Like
them.
it's like, don't attach
You
that
know.
over here.
Yeah.
We got
Right.
enough issues.
Right,
know.
right. And then you got to also look at it this. What are they doing with trafficking? What do they target? Young women, young kids.
Right.
That's what they target. And they send them out the country, send them different places, and that's who is coming up missing when they do this
And it's a
trafficking.
big
It's kids, and it's a
industry.
big money, big industry.
Yes, it
and
is.
and you
Right.
got to also look, like he was saying about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is nowhere near poor, broke, or
At
anything else
all.
like that. He couldn't post the money. No, he didn't want to.
He just didn't
He
want
knew
to.
somebody was going to come forward for it.
Exactly.
Because like I said, everybody's saying silence R. Kelly. I'm like this. You guys not understand contracts and how they work and doing programs. And
He
stuff.
played
Me
the
doing
role.
promo. He's like this. Cancel my show. Guess what? On line number 10A, you got to pay me for this show anyways.
But
if
he
I come
did
on
lose a
thing.
couple of houses.
Yeah, but you know what though? Think about it. A house. Go ahead. I'm still getting paid for these concerts that you guys are canceling and people are not doing because the venue, those people have already paid that money up front, a portion of it, and they still owe him in that contract because they're the ones breaking the contract. So all he has to do is say, you know what? Go ahead and cancel it. My attorney will be contacting y'all, and
Get
y'all
his
gonna be
full
cutting
pay?
me a check, and I'm gonna get my full pay. That's how that
Interesting.
industry works. You
You know-
know, because like I said, if somebody is faulted, like I said. Even when you see it in the movie and stuff, these shows, when they 10 minutes short of giving you what they're supposed to give you, they can come with that contract and say, hey, mister, you're supposed to perform for another 10 minutes or you're not getting paid. It works both ways.
Well, you know, also too with the Santos brother Santos, he called it talking about the machine behind R. Kelly, and he's absolutely right if he gets off because there's a whole community in a place that can call that shot to get him off. That's the scary part
Right.
about what we're experiencing right now with him
Yeah.
because he may walk.
You know, and I wouldn't be surprised because of the history and how many times he's gotten off. I sincerely want him to be convicted because of what message that would send to that machine and to those
Right.
that are doing this.
Yeah.
I want
Right.
the message to be out there, but it also shows just the power of music in general. Let's
Right.
remove R. Kelly. Let's just talk about music. How we know
Yeah.
music is
Yeah.
spiritual,
Yeah.
and how now that music is now related to so many people's memories, etc. With regards to R. Kelly, they don't want to let that go.
Right.
And then he's like, you know, he's this figure behind the music, so they're supporting him. It's just.
Right.
It's a lot
It's a
going on,
double-edged
but
sword.
it's
Double-edged
definitely
sword.
spiritual, and it's definitely something that
And what
you
you're
know,
saying is
deep.
right. Okay. My brother's watching. He's watching my brother Thomas. He's watching from Texas. And he said, true, R. Kelly may be a pedophile. So we definitely don't want to condone his actions, but his music always has been, is, and always will be motivating, encouraging, and inspiring.
See, you can't separate the two,
can't-
though.
yeah.
I can't. The spirit in which that music was created is what it is.
Right.
It may come across as encouraging, etc., but you can't separate the music from the person.
That's what a lot of people don't understand.
Right, but it's hard because
I can separate that because like now I don't want music from you,
right?
With that, with knowing how you are,
Right.
But like Charmaine said earlier and stuff. When I hear certain songs that come on that still play on Pandora, the stuff that come on this song. And it takes me back to, okay, I was at a barbecue, or I was at so-and-so's wedding, or I was at so-and-so's event. It's hard, like you said, it's hard to remove your thoughts about that music if it was a good thought at that time to think about, okay, man, I like that song, but this man is
and that's
something
the thing,
else.
because if you're walking in a store and all of a sudden you hear it's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh,
you're gonna do just like that.
You're gonna do just like that.
Bump your head.
Right.
Before you realize it's R. Kelly, you know what I mean? You start bobbing your head to it.
You're gonna be like, oh, I was at Lake Merritt in Oakland and I was doing this and that.
And be like, wait a minute, that's R. Kelly.
Yeah, and then it's R. Kelly, and you're like, man, let me push my cart.
Keep
moving.
And that's the thing.
Subliminally, your mind is already that memory is grafted.
But let me
in
tell
your
you,
mind.
a prime example of when you said separating the man from the music. Now, although we saw his wife on Surviving R. Kelly, she told us everything.
Oh, yeah.
Not everything, but we heard some of the things he put her through. You heard how the girl Sparkle said that she even had to ask, and she come down and get something to eat. But then a video surfaced of her singing, her baby daddy song.
That's my baby daddy.
Yeah,
I heard her say that.
It's
talking about y'all don't be mad because he was a musical genius. Y'all can't be mad that she was.
You know what I'm saying? But although everything he put her through.
Wow.
It's like I see both sides as far as the whole separating the music from the person, whatever. I get it, but I don't think that everybody cares to do that, because outside of R. Kelly, you still have so many more people in the industry that, like Chris Brown, domestic violence.
Here we go.
I went to a Chris Brown concert a few months ago and it was packed.
Right.
So
that part.
I asked this question on Facebook a few weeks ago and almost got crucified. But where do you draw the line? Like, why is R. Kelly? I understand with the whole pedophile thing, whatever. I'm not speaking towards that. But as far as you having multiple examples of people doing some pretty horrible things within the music industry and within Hollywood, but people still go support them when they want to go support them. It's just that R. Kelly is a hot topic right now.
Right.
You know what? You are so right.
She's absolutely
You
right.
are so right.
She hit it
Because we know the whole situation with him and Rihanna. Now, let me tell you something. I think what made people forgive Chris Brown was when she got back with him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, although the domestic violence happened, I think what watered down that story and that situation was when she
went back.
got back with him.
Took the power out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
She took the power out of it, because it's like, well, if she got back with him, why should I hold something against him if she got back with him and she was the victim?
Right.
So I believe that's what made that a little bit different.
Right.
A little bit different.
Right. It's just that, of course, we don't hear about pedophiles all the time in the music industry. So R. Kelly
That's
is just a
another reason.
continuous example. But when it comes to beating women and prostitution and drugs and all of these things, like, if we were really going to take a stand against not listening to someone's music because of X, Y, and Z, then you got to do it across the board.
But you know what, though? I think, and it's sad that we put people on pedestals. We handle prosecution and we handle different. We give people a lot of leeway that we hold in high esteem. Right. And if R. Kelly wasn't R. Kelly, if he was just an average John that did this, he would have been in jail.
He would be getting out.
Chris Brown was just not Chris Brown, but just any old person. We would deal with him differently.
Right.
We tend to give people that have fame, that have money, that have popularity. We give them a lot of room.
And that's the main thing, is the money.
Yeah,
I mean, really, like I said, the money actually is the thing that's controlling everything here.
And the popularity of this is a star. He's our idol. He's because R. Kelly not only appeals to black people, but he's appealing to like a lot of the Christian community, the black community.
It's amazing.
So he has this popularity that's out there that we've allowed him
appeals to people's
amazing.
sexual senses.
Yeah.
And we are sexual
time.
The women.
heightened.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You wanna sell something?
But that's the music industry.
Use sex.
I mean, you look at every single video that comes
Use
out,
sex.
anything that you see online.
But he
It's
specifically,
about, but
though.
he talks
specifically.
about it. Like, you remind me of my G.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. But then, like you said, then he'll sit there and talk about I fly.
Right.
I mean, come on. Like I said,
But that's the genius in it.
Right.
That's the genius.
And that's the
for
thing that
somebody
allows him
to
to
be
control
going
everybody.
to trial
Right.
for pedophilia and making a hit.
Pedophilia?
I said it wrong.
Pedophilia.
Did I say it wrong? I probably did.
For paraphernalia, y'all.
For paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia.
He in there for
You know what I'm trying to say.
Words black folks
But
get
I'm
wrong.
saying, that's one of mine. It's one of mine. And curriculum. I can't say either. But anyway,
We know what
Sorry,
you're talking
Marie.
about.
We know what
Yeah,
you mean.
yeah.
got you.
Yeah, you
We
feel
know
like
what you catalytic converter.
But it's genius that he can do that right in the middle of that trial. That he made a hit after a hit after a hit
Yeah.
after a
Right.
hit after hit after hit after hit for
Right.
a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
That we went, we followed the pipe.
Right.
Right.
A perverted,
But-
a perverted
But the thing is this though,
genius.
Yeah.
he fooled the
Perverted
people in
genius.
the music industry as well, because look at all the songs he wrote for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
made them a lot of money,
Right,
made
right.
them popular. He made
Yeah.
a lot of people's career.
Yeah, he
so
did.
you got to understand, he, like I said, to them, he's
The number
here.
you
He's
have
different,
dialed
and
is not
everything else
Bullshit.
overshadows all the bad that
Hey,
he
hold
does.
on.
The number you have
And
dialed
that's
is
what
not in.
and that's where, like I said, we forgive. Oh, that's R.Kelly. Yeah, he did that. But you know what? I like
Hello?
that song.
And that's
I
true.
like that
The
song.
number you
Slapping.
have dialed is
Oh,
not in
can you
service.
They said,
Hello?
"Whatever you have dialed." Okay.
They don't have a name of the woman that bailed him out.
No, she was 47. They just called her
They just-
a friend.
a
See,
friend.
and this is another thing too. For him to do crimes against women and
have
underage
women
women
support.
and have women
in
support him.
Right.
And that's the thing that I
right
find
there.
amazing.
Out of it.
That right
And
there.
especially if this woman is 47, I'm not sure if she has children, but
Right.
but
she
supporting
definitely
that.
has to be a fan. 'cause
Hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh my God, dude. There was this one fart that I fucking let out.
Wow.
It was
Well,
a
anyway.
long, bad one.
I'm
dude.
gonna have to
I
give me a
couldn't
call-
even try
a
to
call
record it.
screen.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Figuring
to.
people
so.
was-
Anyway, so if I see that
Yeah.
number pop up, I'm not answering that number. But anyway, for women to be able to support him and be okay with supporting him. And not just that, because one of the girls that was in Surviving R.Kelly, remember how she ended up getting with him. I think it was her last name was Geronda. I think she was Geronda Pace. She met him during his trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During
yeah, she
the-
was out there
Yep.
and supporting him.
She was out there supporting him, and she ended up having a sexual relationship with him. She was 16 and lied and said that she was 19.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when she admitted to him that she was 16, he told her, what did he say? Tell everybody you're 19 and act like you're 21. What was it that he had told her?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
It
don't
was
remember
like-
exactly,
it was like,
but
tell
something
everybody
that.
you're 19.
Yeah, that you're 19. You're not
Yeah,
16.
yeah, and act like you're 21 years old.
Yeah.
So you still had an underage girl out there knowing what he was going to court for,
Right.
and still,
didn't believe it.
and he was her first sexual encounter.
Yeah. And not only did he have the younger girls, but you see later, he even had older women.
He
Yeah.
got he got all of
so it's a sickness, and I agree with Marie that he is a genius and he's perverted and he's sick and there's so many other things he is,
perfected
and
his
that's
skill.
why I hope he gets convicted, and that's all we can do. Our justice system, we know it varies. It varies on who you are, how much money you got, your popularity. We don't have a justice system that is blind. Our
Right.
justice system sees
Yeah.
what is being judged, and
Yeah.
unfairly, it's not consistent.
Absolutely. How you live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My dad forced me
I'm
to suck my
masturbating.
asshole.
Okay, we getting some interesting people calling.
It's R. Kelly's people calling in.
It's that spirit that's mad. It's mad because we talking about it.
Stirred up.
Absolutely.
And it don't like it.
That's something
So if
else.
you want to chime in on the conversation, give us a call, 916-226-9226. Now, if you're playing games, I'm going to hang up on
Now,
you.
why
Okay,
don't they
so
just text?
know.
Have them
It's
text.
all right.
Text their questions
All right.
in.
Ain't nobody worried about
You know what? Yeah, that's right. Just put it right here on Facebook.
Ain't nobody worried about you.
So we
Right.
can definitely read it.
You are not a threat. Just believe
Exactly.
that.
But no, everybody, you all had some definite good points. But before we go, I do want to talk about Robert Kraft. Now, it looks like the 77-year-old New England Patriots owner, it looked like he has been pretty happy leaving the Happy Day spot.
Yeah.
In Florida, they made him look happy. Now, Robert Kraft is linked to a Florida sex trafficking ring. He is charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of soliciting prostitution after twice visiting, it's called Jupiter, the Rub and Tug massage joint. It's
and
called
Tug.
Orchids of Asia Spa. Now he was caught on video visiting 2 days
what a
in a
name.
row.
You couldn't find a place with a better name.
Yeah. He would have been just good. Massage.
He went and paid $79 for a rub and tug, and he is worth $6.6 billion dollars.
With a B.
And he paid $79 for a rub and tug, and then he tipped the ladies $100, but he is worth $6.6 billion.
Okay, wait.
6.6.
He deserves
Rub and
everything. He deserves every. I don't even know what's
Yeah.
going on with this dude. He deserves
Yeah.
it all.
Well, first of all, I hate New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Period. Because they're cheaters.
Oh, really?
Oh, they cheat. They
Allegedly.
cheat. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we'll put allegedly in
We'll
there.
put that in there.
We'll
I'm
put
trying
the-
to sue me, y'all.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, though, that's another prime example of somebody that has a lot of money doing something that, I'm not going to get caught doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, they were running a sting on that place for a while.
But why was he? This is my question. Why was he in the local strip mall?
See,
As much money as he has, he goes to the local strip mall.
Right.
You know what,
This
though?
is
They like
this
to
it,
be
though.
normal, though.
This is the arrogance of his position,
Right.
having $6.6
That-
billion
Is
dollars.
that it?
I
That
can
you
go
would do what you
anywhere
want. I do
and
what I
do
want.
anything, and who's to stop me?
Right.
And you know what? It's gonna prove true because allegedly him being charged in this, he'll
Right.
do no time.
Oh, no.
He won't show it up in the court. He'll write a check and keep it moving.
Even
And
if it's a misdemeanor, what's the charge? What's the amount
it's-
on the misdemeanor
It's
and stuff?
$5,000.
Yeah, $5,000 is like
I mean,
50 cents.
he
to
lights
that
his fireplace with that.
man. No, that's 50. That's yeah, that's 50 cents.
that
That's
ain't
about
right.
50 cents worth of
That
money to
ain't
him.
nothing.
You know, he's not even thinking about that.
Right. How you like with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine? Which name were you calling from?
Hello. I am Michelle.
Yeah,
I got somebody
big
mad.
time.
Yeah, somebody mad.
What
It's
they
probably
say?
They
nothing.
they big
Them
mad.
mad
They just
facing.
making
Yeah.
all these mad
Mad
faces.
faces.
That's
and
probably
stuff,
who's
so
calling
it's
in.
Probably
It's
who's
all good.
Oh, they're
playing all the
mad.
games, Yeah.
Oh, you mad?
But like you said, the sad part about the whole situation, like you said, it's a misdemeanor.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's not really tripping on it. But it's going to be interesting to see how the NFL looks at this, because the way that they treat the players when they
That
do
part.
something allegedly, they got video or they don't have video or somebody has said something about them.
Right.
They have ended players' careers just on an allegation. And for this man to do what he did or get caught where he was at and everything else, he's messing up the brand of the NFL. So I'm really curious to see how they, or what punishment they pass down to this man, because I know, God, who was the owner? Was
But
it
see,
one of
you
the
gotta look-
Dodgers or somebody else? They did something wrong, one of the owners, and they made him sell his team.
But look at this though. Okay, now they said he may be able to get off. Why? Because they allegedly the ladies that gave him the rub and tug, one is the owner, she's 45 years old, and the other is an employee and she's 58. So they say he did not get his rub and tug
From
for some
anyone underage
yeah, or the
From
the
anybody
women that
who was
they say
sex trafficked
yeah, anybody who
or-
was sex trafficked and brought here from Asia for that purpose of prostitution. His was from the actual owner, so they say he may be able to get off.
Well, he
That's
did.
a lie. That's a lie. He ain't. But that man at the age he is does not want somebody 45 running on him. He wants somebody that is young,
I mean,
like
that-
like
45
R.Kelly.
If you
That's not-
77,
no, don't matter.
If you 77, 45
I don't
is
think it
young.
matter who it
No,
comes
look,
from,
look.
right? At
No,
this point.
no, I don't know.
At this point, just give it
he's
to
been
me.
hanging out with
It's
Meek
been a
Mills.
minute.
The man got a big old platinum diamond out. You know, he think he one of the brothers. He from the hood now.
But his girl is 39 years old. He got a little young.
Yes.
39-year-old.
Exactly.
Hey,
so
but-
he don't want 45.
But
okay.
45 ain't far from 39.
No, it's a big
all
difference.
young. It's
there-
all
listen,
young.
there's a 4 right here, and there's a 3. 3 comes before
but
4.
what is
He wants the
interesting-
earlier number.
Well, it's interesting for him to have that much money and he's going outside of his actual home to do this.
Well, okay, let me.
Yes.
Okay, now what if I threw this in the bag? Now you know his wife recently passed just a few years ago, so he
Okay.
might be a lonely old man. He was with his wife for 48 years.
48
They were
married.
married for 48 years.
Oh, that's
I
beautiful.
mean, the woman who you started your
Wow.
career with, the woman who was there,
Yeah.
the woman who you shared all your dreams with. She saw you come up. I'm sure she's probably been through. I'm not saying some adulterous things. I don't know,
Right.
but you know, as people come up, but she was there. She was by his side. They were philanthropists. They gave millions together.
Still do.
Do you think he might have just been lonely, and maybe the 39-year-old 4-year-old wasn't satisfying him, and this is just what he did to help with his loneliness. What do you think?
I think he went there and he was going to buy the place.
I think he had a problem all along.
Right. Right.
You think
You
so?
know what?
Yes.
I really do think it was a lonely act. I think it was something that he didn't think through. And I think, it shows also the power of companionship and women that give men. A lot of times when a man loses his wife after all those years, he's in a space where you have to find will to live,
right?
Because you've been married for so long, you don't know what to do with it. Like now, give me $6.6 billion, I'll think of something.
I'm gonna go against what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is that I think it's something that he's reaching out for and wasn't even thinking. I think on a base level, men have the same needs.
Right,
Whether
but-
you got $6 billion or you making $10 an hour, the base need is some companionship. And I think he should say, you know what, I'm gonna just do it.
That's the way to look at it, but I'm gonna look at it like this. He been in the industry long enough to know the ins and outs because his money got him there and gets him in and getting what he need, and it's been something that's been practiced through that whole industry all that long. It ain't new.
Right.
This ain't new to him. He ain't just done this because his wife died.
That was not
But
his
you know
first
what?
time
That
at
was-
the,
that was
the
his
grab a
first
rag.
Allegedly.
It was not.
Allegedly.
He
I'm
been
not
doing
saying it was his first time,
No,
but
I'm
what
not-
I'm
what
saying
I'm-
is he has a base need that just
mean,
he
he's had a
feels,
base need
he
for
feels
many years.
arrogant enough
When
to
she
just
was
get
here,
it filled
he
wherever.
had a base
But he
need.
could have
Just
called
saying.
somebody
When
to
he
come to the house.
Okay.
got
Look,
married.
There's,
He had a
there's,
base
there's a
need.
thing
We
called
gotta call him,
cuddling.
guys. We gotta call him.
Yeah.
You're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. Which name are you calling from?
Seemed like I was like,
Y'all are some ugly motherfuckers.
I don't know who that is.
I say you should shut the calling line.
Yeah. But I really want to thank him because it's letting me know that he's watching this show. He's
Oh, yeah.
interested
Right
in the
on.
show.
For your
And
time,
you
bro.
are just
Yeah.
been
Thank
totally
you.
entertained where you just cannot shut us off.
appreciate
So
it.
thank you so much for continuing to watch the show. Write the number down to call in because he's been blowing up
And
the
have
phone.
feelings.
Right.
I'm glad
Yeah,
your
he got
feelings
his
is in it.
feelings
too.
hurt.
Right,
That's
yeah.
the passion.
He was big mad.
But you know what though?
Yes,
Love
I
the
appreciate
Patriots.
that. Yeah.
Remember, I was telling you, they got people out there that you can call up, go online,
Yeah.
and they can come over to your house and they can cuddle with you.
Yeah.
Get
Other
that.
people.
Right.
But you had to go from New England, where it's really cold, all the way down to Florida.
Yeah, he wanted some warmth.
Where do all folks go to retire? Florida.
Yeah.
He been there before. Okay,
He got an apartment there.
and I'm like
His
this.
apartment
he
is 17
and
minutes
I guarantee
away.
you, he comes in the back door because $6.6 million get you your own entrance.
Billions.
I'm sorry, billions.
B.
Would it be get you your own back door? You got to be on it. For
But your
billionaire.
back door to the strip mall shop.
He got his own way in, so nobody see him coming in or going.
And he rode away in a
and
Bentley.
he can do whatever he want. And like I said, he got a Bentley parked outside, and he come outside. Like I said, he didn't know they was under a sting because, again, here we go with that sex trafficking, that narcissistic, pedophile stuff. It's an industry, and like you said, you don't know who's behind that. This can go all the way to. Because I mean, what's his name in the White House and stuff. I tell people, I said he always gets mail order brides because they all from Russia.
The only way we know about this man is because he got caught. Somebody's seen
True.
it worthy enough
but
to
see,
say something.
Come on, go ahead, babe.
No, I'm just saying though. How concerned are we with it because it's him being accused, or are we really concerned about the women that were in there all along? So
Right.
the sting has been going on for a while, but they just found a name and they found somebody now of a high profile enough to
Oh,
now
yeah.
bring
So
it
they
out.
bust it.
Right.
Because there's been plenty of people getting the rub and tug.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rub and tug is
Yeah, I mean, rub and tug is what they do.
it's been around for a minute.
That's
That
on
ain't
the
nothing
sign
new.
on the
So,
outside.
but now because it's him, now you want to bring
But
it
a lot of
because the
famous
name.
people, they say go here.
Right.
And it wasn't like 25 other people that were
Yeah.
actually caught, but he's the only name we hear about.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And but we don't hear about the girls, the safety of the girls. We don't hear
The
anything.
owner, what's the owner's name?
Yeah.
And all that.
I got a name now. You want to know what a name is? I don't know if I could pronounce this child name, but
Yeah.
I can't
But it's
pronounce this
interesting.
child
But you know
name.
what's interesting is that they said none of the people that were sex trafficking were the ones that did it. So that means you already know that you're doing something wrong, and you're making money off of these young ladies that come over here.
You're
to
talking about a
America.
machine behind
So
it.
that's
Sex
again, it's a
trafficking.
machine.
That
Sex
that-
trafficking is so huge, and because it's a problem here in
I think
Sacramento.
it finances
in,
this
in
country.
Sacramento, it's a problem.
Sacramento,
there's areas in Sacramento
bad.
that it is really, really bad.
Yeah.
And there's not enough police and not enough interest in it to do something about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
it's,
quick,
because
so
it's
quick.
nothing new.
so quick on how it's real because I've seen it with my own eyes in Walmart, where a man was taking pictures of a child, sending the pictures to someone, and it looked like he was waiting for an okay to snatch this child. And then Walmart security was so on it that they saw him and they chased him out of the store, but he got out of there so quick they couldn't catch him. But he was taking pictures, he was sending them, and then he waited. And he followed the little girl, and I'm watching. And I'm like, okay, if he goes for it, I'm gonna jump on him too. I'm gonna get some. But he, but he got up out of there. So it's real. What you're saying, I've seen it. I've heard so many stories. And then, but at the same time, when I take my daughter to school, I see children walking to school.
Yeah. It's bad.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was a great show. Thank you guys so much for all your comments. Thank you for the callers that did call in, and for those that did call in, and y'all tried to be, funny style, and y'all thought y'all was going to ruin the show. Thank you for watching the show. We appreciate you too. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. And also, if you guys want to catch the replay of the Lady Charmaine live show, all you have to do on Saturday, is go to Spotify. You can go to iTunes, or you can also just say, Alexa, play the Lady Charmaine live show, and they will play the show for you. We're also on TuneIn as well, so make sure if you want to catch some past shows, but make sure if you want to check out this show, you can also go, like I said, to all of those places. Also, it will be up on YouTube if you want to catch the actual live footage of this show, the video replay. And you can go to LadyCharmaineLive.com and catch that as well. And again, y'all, thank you guys so much. It's always a pleasure having my peeps on the show. That's
right.
That's what I call y'all.
That's good.
We the peeps.
I call y'all my peeps. And Kenny actually has an event going on. Was it this Saturday? Is a masquerade ball?
Yes. If you're not doing anything and you're in the Sacramento area, come on out to Strikes out in Elk Grove off of Laguna Boulevard. We're doing a Mardi Gras party. So if you can't get down to Galveston, Texas, Memphis, or get down to New Orleans, come on down. We're going to have a great time. Grown and Sexy, come through. We just going to kick it.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all come through. And again, thank you for watching Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine.
That happened one time before a while ago. It sounded like the same young lady's voice too.